Trinity of truth. The tallest proof. The strange, the weird, the odd, the real. Tom Zames, Divinely Sierra, and Catalyst Jones. Trinity of truth.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Trinity of Truth, episode 5. Wanted to kick it off right today. We are here with Catalyst Jones, Tom Zames. What is up, you guys?
We in the building. Holy shit. What is up is the whole Matrix is like we're on like Super Saiyan level or something as we're like going through this video game. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, things are getting pretty intense out there. That's for sure.
So I haven't seen you guys. We called off, or we did do a show last week, right? No, we didn't do a show last week, but we have decent internet, at least on my end now. So that is finally, thank goodness. And we have a shit ton of videos that I've accumulated while we were gone because, like, man, the Matrix is freaking crazy, and I don't know what to make of any of it.
Yeah, it's been quite bonkers lately.
What the fuck's up, Tom?
Yo, what's up? What up?
So, I know you think everything is faking gay, but
I don't think it. I know it.
Yeah, but the moon mission, like, totally for realsies, though, right? That's totally for realsies,
dude. Look, a couple weeks ago we talked, right? Sierra thinks that we're closer as a collective to the thing, and I think we're a little further away. Look at all the fucking people that think that this shit was real. Like, the people think this shit was fucking real on April Fools, and they still think it's real. Like, we're not close, guys. We got like 10, 15 years.
Well, I do think that a lot of people still think it's real, but if we were doing this Artemis 2 moon launch 10 years ago, the amount of people that believed it then compared to now would be totally different. So I think people are really catching on. I think people are awakening. But yeah, I mean, seeing people really eat it up, April Fool's moon launching, it's pretty.
So we're still extremely outnumbered. However, this was so fucking awesome. At my last break at work today, I'm sitting out in my car and I hear yelling coming from a completely different warehouse that I don't work at. It's a warehouse down the street that makes fire hydrants. And I'm like, damn, dude, it sounds like some people are about to get down over there. And so, like, I get out of my car and I turn off the music and I'm listening. And you know what they're fucking arguing about? He goes, well, then you tell me this. Who the fuck filmed him getting off of the fucking thing onto the moon then? And I was like, oh, hell yes, this is fucking awesome. Yeah. I wanted to yell back. Listen to that dude. He knows what he's talking about.
I always show support. When I overhear someone talking about something, I slide right in there and I validate that guy. Always.
I wanted to, but
it
was like
validate them.
It was like so far away. Like, I don't know, like my work would have heard me and been like, what the hell is he doing? And like, I'm not trying to get into a flat earth debate at work because I could give two shits what anybody thinks. So, but yeah. However, you're right. Yeah. Whenever somebody is like, especially in a setting like that, if I was there, I would have totally been. And not only that, who fucking installed the landlines that Nixon called him on? Like, I would have totally had his back on that one. But I will be right back, you guys. Go ahead and keep the flow go.
Yeah, like the phone call, like the whole phone call thing. And they do that. They throw stuff there. They give you an opportunity to be like, wait, this doesn't make sense. They always give you an opportunity, like with the hijackers' passports, right? That was what got me to be like, wait, what? What do you mean they found their passports right away? Like, that was, they throw you that bone. They always throw that bone in there for you to be like, wait, this shit's fake.
Yep. Little breadcrumbs.
Yeah. It's a mental job though. It's, you know, you gotta like, you know, it's a mind fuck being like, well, wait a minute. Is it flat? Is space real? Like the first time you actually question it, you're like, no, why? No, yeah, it's real. But like deep down inside, you know, it's like, fuck, it's not real.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine that I used to skate and snowboard with, and actually we used to party hard together. But he told me the other day that he was gonna pray for me, and it was because he posted something on Facebook, and he was like, "The flat earthers look so stupid right now. I bet they all feel so dumb." And I was like, "We're actually laughing at people like you that are posting this dumb shit that still believe in Santa Claus." And like, yes, I totally couldn't believe it. And then it shot into DMs, and he was like, "I'll pray for you." And I was like, what exactly are you going to pray for? That I fall back under the fucking spell that all of you are under?
He's praying for your soul, man. I mean, these people, I get this all the time. If I had $1 for every time someone's like, dude, I'm praying for you, I'm like, please don't. Please do not pray to your false god or whoever you're praying to for me, please. Like, I'm solid. Like, I don't need any help from fucking anybody. Like, we're good here, pal. But they're praying for your soul. They think that you're in danger. So, you know, it comes from like a place of love, of foolish love, but they seriously think like, you know, oh, they're praying for you. They're worried about you, man. They think you're fucked up.
Bro, these people don't know the Bible. I had Josh Monday on my show that used only the Bible and broke down every scripture explaining that the world is flat and immovable, using only scripture. No scientific, nothing, just shit that was said from the Bible. And so if you're a true Christian and that is 100% the word and infallible, then he tells you right there that it is flat and immovable. And their whole thing is, well, he drew a circle like a compass. And it's like, all right, well, tell me, what is a plate? What is the face of a watch? What is a pizza? That shit, what is a disc? That shit is a circle. It's flat, but it's a circle. And so, you know, they always get hung up on that when it clearly describes a sphere as a different word and it breaks it down. So I figured, you know, I didn't expect to get into Bible talk right out of the blue or out of the beginning, but I do have something that deals with this, not necessarily flat earth, but this is titled Masonic Bible, and this will be our first video for the night.
So this ship was in my great uncle's house. Now, he's no longer with us.
Damn.
I wonder how old it is. I'm scared to flip the page. Like 2-3 pages. The first 3 Grand Masters. And whose names are on here? King Solomon and 2 other kings. I can't really translate them, my bad. See, and this is what I don't get. Because this is a holy Bible. Look. See, like, there's the proof. It's this big-ass hefter. Some people are gonna find me fucking crazy for this shit. But what I don't understand is how you have these 2 big-ass fucking people. Big people. King Solomon being one of them. And let me get into him real fast. Now, he was given a ring from God. Isn't that fucking convenient? Because who gave Albert Pike a bracelet for communication? Satan. And it was sent to him by angels, supposedly. And it was to control spirits, demons, and elements. Like, he used demons to build his temple, okay? In Israel, at that. Now,
Whoa!
If you don't know, King Solomon became unfaithful to God. And so he lost everything because of it. So basically, Freemasons have been around for a very long time, even way before Jesus.
Shit! Now, shout out to Haley in the house, man. Y'all gotta go down a rabbit hole of her videos of her finding this holy Bible.
So I don't really know what to take from that. I watched maybe the first 20 seconds and said, oh, this will be good for the show. When she said, you know what, I don't get, my immediate response was dick, but I don't know. Go on, Tom. I know you're dying to say something about this video.
I'm going to let Sierra go first.
I was just gonna say, like, when it you know, I always get into arguments with people online about Freemasons because people will say, "Oh, well, my uncle's a Freemason, my husband's a Freemason, my brother's a Freemason," and like I know some Freemasons too, you know, and it's the problem is it's these groups like the Cult of Baal that have branched out and then hidden behind these factions like we talked about before. You know, they don't actually practice these things, they just hide out under these groups. So I always get into arguments with people about Freemasons. Then they're like, oh, they do charity work, you know, they're good dudes. And it's like, yeah, maybe in the lower levels, I'm not saying that, but it's these higher levels that these lower levels know nothing about, and it's these groups, this Khazarian mafia, this cult of Baal that hides out in all these different factions: Freemason, Vatican, Jesuits. So it's all the same group behind these smaller groups, but they're not who they claim to be. So then they recruit other people so that these people can say, oh no, Freemasons are great, I'm a Freemason, I know Freemasons, they're all really good people, but at the top of those food chains, they're doing the wicked shit. So you know, it's interesting to have the talk about Freemasons because of that, because people will back them. People will back all of these groups because they see the smaller, you know, branched off versions of real people that have joined these groups, but they don't realize that it's the top and this cult that's actually just hiding behind the name that they're giving.
Yeah, there's a lot of useful idiots in these organizations, absolutely. And then there's a lot of people that join them with the intentions of, hey, I'm going to get more knowledge, more power, and more social structure from joining these groups, and maybe not necessarily believing the things that they believe. But was it like a year ago or so? Well, when I lived in the mansion, they would always ask me, hey, you want to come? You want to come? And there was one time where they were like carpooling and some other dude pulled up, and as they were leaving, and he was like, man, not only will you get good connections, but some of the rituals we do are pretty cool too. And I was like, I'm good, thanks though. And you know, so it's like, I know that like some of like there was one person in that mansion that fully was aware of what the fuck goes on there and was all about it. Like he like claimed to be Knights Templar and shit. And then there was another one that was just like, I how do I say this? Like, man, gullible is a really fucked up word because I love this guy to death, but he puts a lot of trust in what people say, and he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he has a really good heart, but he gets steered wrong a lot.
Yeah. I think it's easy for us as humans to be manipulated because we do see the good and we try and see the good and we are trusting. And I think that that's weaponized against us. So it's really easy for people that have a good head on their shoulders and have a good heart to be manipulated because they use that empathy and compassion that we have against us.
Now, do you think some of them play stupid though too? Because like this same guy that I'm talking about would say, he does say, you know, like he's Christian, and I'm like, well, in what sense though? Because at the top you believe in the grand architect, and he was like, well, I'm a Christian, you know, and like kind of stood his ground on that, and then he always would fall back on the we're not allowed to talk about things, like there's really dire consequences if we talk about things, and would leave it at that.
Yeah, well, I think they have to believe in a God, right? Because I remember there's a video where a guy pulls up next to a Freemason. He's like, "Do you believe in God or whatever?" And he was answering. So I think that's like a requirement. They have you believe in like some higher power. It can be whatever you want. At least that's what this guy said in the video. But you know, look, just like anything in life, there's good Freemasons and there's bad Freemasons.
Oh yeah, all walks of life for sure.
Yeah, and there's different sects of them and all that, and you know, we don't know if they were hijacked or that's what they do. They have control over. It's not just the Freemasons; it's over every group. They've got control over it. So whether they started it and always had control over it, or they fucking took it over, this is what they do, you know. And some people don't know what's going on. Some people do, and some people know half. You know, they're in it for the knowledge, but they don't give you the true knowledge. Like
Right.
Everyone thinks they're like people always hold shit back. So if you're in there and you're at the highest level and you think that you've been privileged to all the knowledge, you're a fucking moron. You're stupid as fuck too. You're just
And they're also going to make you do horrific things so that they have that blackmail on you, that they know that you're loyal. So if you are at the top levels, then you've participated in those types of things. That's like the only way that you can reach any of those levels. And I think obviously it comes down to bloodlines and that sort of thing. But for the people that they do recruit, I think that you really have to participate in some really wicked stuff. And that's the only way that you can get to those top levels. So if anyone claims that they're at the top levels, then they're either full of it or they've participated in some of those really sick rituals.
Well, that's what we're told though. That's what we're told though. But I've never been in there. Like, so unless we've actually been in there, we don't really know, because we're just, it's all hearsay. Oh, this is what they do, and they're doing this, and they're, they're attached to all the psyops, and but like, unless you actually know somebody that was in it and they told you, and like maybe you have. I'm just saying, like, I don't know anybody. I've never talked to anybody. So everything I've been going off of really is honestly hearsay.
So
And
there's
most of it
actually only
rather-
2 levels. There's 2 levels, and as far as the 33rd degrees, the degrees, you can climb the ladder as fast as you want to, because that's knowledge that is given to you freely, and you can read through it as quickly as you want to and progress through the degrees. And then you are stopped at the 32nd degree, and you're only allowed to go to the 33rd degree level if you are tapped and asked to proceed. And they'll even stifle you there, because as you're being sworn in at your 33rd level, you bring your own Bible, and they look at what Bible you bring in. And now if it is a Christian Bible, your teaching stop right there. Now your level of influence, your level of power, as far as like maybe you're a judge and you have prestige, and like you're still going to have your weight that you carry around with you, but you're not going to be privy to any more enlightenment. So they're not going to teach you any more of the hidden occultic shit. Now, if you go in there with the Book of Law by Lester Crowley, you're going to get fast tracked to all of the knowledge. Now, in order to be tapped, like what Sierra was saying, it does have a lot to do with your family blood ties and who you know, who you associated with, who your parents associated with, type of a thing. And it's very much like the upper echelons of a secret society. You can just be anybody's Joe Schmo and get in easier than you can get into a college fraternity, if that makes sense. Like anybody could go in, like right now, like Tom, you could walk in and join, and Sierra, you could walk in and join the sisterhood if you wanted to.
An Eastern Star.
But truly, what do you get out of it? Connections? Yes, I can see that. And like the Freemasons that I do know in my life, they definitely. That's debatable, bro. That's really debatable. Actually, I know Masons that have been to jail for sure. So, but
for violating God's law, maybe.
Yeah, and like to what extent?
No victim.
And to what extent were they in there for too? Like were they infiltrating something? Like were they being punished for something? Did they not pay their dues? Like, because they have yearly dues that they have to pay. I think they even have monthly dues, if I'm not mistaken. And you don't get your privileges if you're not paid up.
So it's like a fraternity, you got to pay to play, pay to have friends.
Yes, definitely.
Pay to have connections, pay to have knowledge that's right here, right in the ether for you to fucking just go and take. Anyone can go take it.
We got the chat is going wild tonight. We got Koi Pond Kid in the house. We got Level Playing Poem. We got Doc Brown from Prometheus Lenses in the house. I was just telling somebody about your book at work today, brother. If you guys don't know, Doc Brown is the author of the Epic of Esau, where he has a theory where he connects the dots and calls out Esau as the very first Bigfoot ever depicted. And the dots that he connects is rather what's the word I'm looking for? It's I believe it. So the word is escaping me, but let's jump back into some videos here. I don't want to get fully into the Masons, but they are fun to touch on because they do exist pretty much everywhere. But this one, it's only 57 seconds, and Sierra, I saw the title of this one, and it's what made me click on it because I was like, ooh, this might be something that me and you could butt heads about. So I haven't actually watched this. It's called Gnostic Jesus versus Christian Jesus.
Oh, nice.
Watch this.
Gnostic Jesus versus the Christian Jesus. What's the difference? Christian Jesus is about faith, belief, and worshiping God, while Gnostic Jesus is about knowledge, gnosis, and becoming enlightened. Christian Jesus came to die in a blood sacrifice to atone for sin. Gnostic Jesus was a divine spiritual teacher of knowledge and wisdom. He taught that all humans had a divine spark within us. Christian Jesus was a continuation of the Old Testament and called Yahweh his Father. Gnostic Jesus was the exact opposite. He argued the God of the Old Testament was the demiurge, a lesser false god, while the God of the New Testament was the true unknown God in the divine realm of light. Christian Jesus was all about church, hierarchy, worship, and obedience to God. The Gnostic Jesus was all about inner work and awakening. The kingdom of heaven and God was not outside you, but within. The Christian Jesus was literally God incarnate, and if you don't believe in him, you're going to go to hell. Gnostic Jesus taught we're already in hell, created by this guy's God, the demiurge, and humanity needs to awaken.
All right, now I disagree with that. Catholicism teaches that you're going to go to hell. But that's the only thing, and I don't know enough about the Gnostics to be able to comment on that. But pretty much, I think I agree with everything that he said. I don't see a whole lot wrong with the Gnosticistic beliefs in like wanting to enlighten yourself. Like what's I know that Lucifer, the light bearer, and we're supposed to shun away from that, but like I'm human and like I want to know things, and you know, knowledge is power. And when they tell me I can't look at something, you're damn right I'm going to go fucking look at it the second they're not looking at me.
Yeah. Well, and like we talked a little bit about last time, you know, if these names that they were giving us were these entities or beings or energies that were really, really going to help us, they wouldn't have them in their Abrahamic religions. They wouldn't be giving us that information. So while we agreed, you know, last time that Yeshua, Jesus, Catalyst, you and I think that he was a real person. I think, Tom, you kind of think he was. I do think he was a real person. And the reason that my beliefs lean more towards Gnosticism is because Gnosticism is the practice of going within, you know, and the church never sat right with me because always looking for external validation or saviors felt like a trap. And I think that it is because it makes you weak and it makes you constantly feeling or, you know, embodying a victim that needs to be saved. Whereas Gnosticism, Yeshua embodied, like we said, the eon, the anthropos, and he came down to teach us that we can all escape this matrix through our own gnosis, through our own connection to God. And that just resonates with me more. You know, I think when it comes to religion, it's to teach us to be small, divided, fearful. And then, you know, when it comes to these branches that were not in the, are not canonical texts, you know, then it's a little bit easier for me to believe because obviously when we see things that are shoved down our throat, we kind of can guess that maybe it's not for the best of us because what is for our good here? Really not a lot. So yeah, I mean, that just resonates with me more. As far as Christianity, I do believe there was a man, Jesus, Yeshua. I don't think they would give us his name. I don't think that God really has a name. So calling God Yahweh, Yahuwah, none of that really resonates with me either. But so that we can speak of him, I do refer to him as Yeshua, and I do think that he was here.
I'm curious, and sorry to cut you out of this conversation, Tom, but I don't know if you do know thoughts on the apocalypse of Adam. That was like when he unveiled to his son Seth, I believe, on his deathbed. So I don't know. It's more in the Gnostic teachings, so it's not something I'm all that familiar with.
Apocalypse of Adam.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of that.
I know that's
I don't
right.
believe, no, I mean, look, you guys are get there at some point. So it's like, it's cool. Like, I know everyone thinks it's nuts that I think this way, but you know, these names and whatever, they're allegories. They're not stories. They're not a real guy. There wasn't a guy, Adam. We didn't come from his rib. That's all bullshit. Like the race, like we all came from Adam's rib. That whole thing that's fake. That's a fake story. They want, like, I'm sorry, but a guy in Africa and me, we didn't come from the same place. We just didn't. The races were created in a fucking laboratory. They were created in our meat suits are literal science projects. Like, and I know people don't, it's romantic to think that like God invented this, and the creator of all did create all, right? In essence, but no, none of this shit that we've been told or fed, or none of it is there. It's not there.
Well, buckle up with what. I'm sorry. He segued for a video perfectly, but it is 2 minutes and 30 seconds long. So if you had something you wanted to add to that, do it before I hit this play.
No. Go ahead. All
right. So to piggyback off of what you're talking about here, Tom.
There's only 4 phenotypes: Dravidian, Caucasoid, Mongoloid, which is Asians and Koreans and all of them, and then there's Negroid, which is me and Africans. And so here's the issue that I'm having. Scientifically, according to the Australian Research Center for Ancient DNA, we can prove that white people, Caucasoid people, because even if you don't identify as white, the term Jew is not a genealogical description. You can't genealogically be a Jew. Y'all all fall genetically in the category of Caucasoid. And Caucasoids, according to not only history, but biblical history as well, descend from the Caucasus Mountains. How, with the Middle East being an extension of Africa, are Caucasoids claiming that they are native to a land that not only they were never there, they were there and inhabited it after us. And so here's my thing, right? When we dealing with biblical genealogy, right? You brought up Jacob, right? Now, we know that there were no J's back then. And people say that there were Y's. Now, I disagree with that as well. But staying on that notion, Jacob would be Yaakov, which people would say is Yakub.
Yeah.
Now, Yakub in Hebrew literally means subplanter. Okay, so when we talk about subplanting, right? To subplant, they're talking about genetic engineering. Now, why is this important? I'm not being racist. Let me pull up the damn article. This right here is from Molecular Biology and Evolution. And this clearly states that if you are not a descendant, it says if your heritage is non-African, you are part Neanderthal. Now the number specifically is you are 93% human and 7% Neanderthal. Caucasians come from Dravidians. So when we talk about white people coming from albinos, here's the problem. They don't come from African albinos, or Caucasoids, I should say. Don't come from African albinos. This man over here on the left is an African albino. You can clearly still see he's an African. This man right here, which kind of looks like you but has blonde hair, comes from this albino Dravidian. So everybody just looking at this picture would think that this is a white man. This is not a white man. This is an albino Dravidian. When we're
So, sorry, I was uploading the video that Sierra sent me. So
and maybe you can do it right away.
Yeah, Tom, I was thinking you could pick up on that one since that was kind of up your alley. But I don't know if you even believe in that shit. He's talking about like some alien races.
I mean, maybe, but like the whole race thing, it's not a thing that I even care to talk about because it's all contrived in order to divide us. Like they created these races on purpose to divide us so that they could use them like they're using them now to have us fighting with each other. This was all preordained, pre-planned. This is why we're going to do races. We're going to go black, white, ooh, the chinks and this and that. No, it's all by design. All the different cultures to give you this illusion that everybody's separate, and we're not. We're not. All the pussies are pink. All the assholes are pink inside, right? We're all pink inside. So it's the truth. It's all fake. The whole.
Yeah, but Asian women, their vaginas are sideways. Didn't you know that?
They're definitely not sideways.
I was told that when I was in middle school, and I believe it.
And you believed it.
No, I didn't believe it. Well, actually, when I was told that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. That's crazy. And I thought I was a stand-up comedian even back then. And so I had like a joke about how Asian people were really aliens from a different planet, because think about it, you never see a poor Asian, and they're always like really smart and good at math and shit, and they're just here to take over. And that was like my 8th grade joke.
I think we're all hybrids, and I think maybe at one point we all looked the same, maybe, and our organic vessels were more similar to one another. But I think when they messed around with our DNA, took it from 12-strand DNA to 2-strand DNA, there was probably multiple changes that they made to keep us from evolving past them, to keep us more aggressive and less loving, less willing to unite with one another. So I think a lot of changes could have been made to push division, and race definitely could have been one of them. I honestly don't know. We talked about like, do white people come from pigs and dogs? I don't know. And to be honest with you, I don't care, because I know that my heart and my soul, the essence of who I am, comes from the highest of the high. It's complete love. So whatever my meat suit is made out of doesn't matter at the end of the day. I know what my soul is.
I think that that's kind of a little bit reverse, something that you said in there, and that is that they are trying to mix the DNAs now. And if we were to rewind like 1,000 years, that they were more pure and our cultures were more specifically related to our geographical location. And I don't know if that would have to do with the fallen or the Nephilim and the offspring of that, or I'm curious what, Tom, your take is, like, with your beliefs, like, where would all these different races ultimately come from if it's all bullshit?
I don't know. Like this one guy asked, I'm confused what race made all the other races in the science lab. I think he's being sarcastic, but it wasn't one race that made the other races. These are all non-humans. These are not people. They're not people like us. We got to stop thinking like human beings. We're all fucked up because we're thinking like humans, right? Or what we've been brought up to be. And we might not even be humans. Humans just could be a fake name that they came up with. Like, we're all possibly from some different place, some non-human entity. Like, who fucking knows, right? That's probably what it really is. And then they came up with this name. Oh, we'll call them humans, right? But the people that are running the world, to answer this guy's question, are not human. So whoever they are, or what they are, that's what I'm talking about with the lab experiment, whether you want to call them reptilians or Anunnaki or whatever, right? Like, these are all the mainstream stories, which they're probably not true at the end of the day. There's probably other people that we haven't heard of yet, right? That are the real players. Kind of like they threw us Rockefeller and these stupid names. Like, those guys are a bunch of jackoffs, you know what I mean? In the grand scheme of the thing, right? So I don't know, man. I don't have all the answers, but
Well, I think we can definitely
die.
I think we can definitely get into a little bit into who they are tonight, because I have some videos that revolve around that. But before we do that, we have a submission here from our very own lovely Divinely Sierra. So I'm going to go ahead and play that now. And it comes from one of my favorite cartoons ever made.
You know, the stuff that's come out about how the Jews stole the black race's identity? That the lost tribes of Judah were actually all Africans? You didn't hear about this? Black people are actually the Jews, and people like Kyle have taken that from them? Stop talking to me. When the Jews came to America to escape persecution in World War II, they found that blacks were already the underclass in America, so they had to invent a story for themselves which they could make everyone believe because Kyle runs Hollywood.
He said, because Kyle runs Hollywood. Screw you, Kyle.
Oh, yeah. I saw that the other day. It made me laugh, and it made me think of this conversation because, I've brought it up a couple times, the Khazarian Mafia, and a great documentary. If you guys haven't watched it already, I think I sent it to you. It's a 2-part, and both parts are like a couple hours long, but it's the Khazarian Mafia, the God Eaters. And it kind of touches on that, how like the Khazarians, they would wait for a family to come on the East India Trading Company, come through their land. They would eat these people, take over their identities, and then move themselves further in the West. So they're taking over all these identities and then claiming that they're these people that they aren't. And that's how they've kind of spread themselves out and infiltrated all of these different groups. It started way back then. So when I saw that, it just made me think of that. But yeah, that's a really good documentary. If you guys haven't watched it yet, you should.
Well, I got a perfect video that piggybacks off of what you're talking about, unless Tom had something to add to the South Park boys. All right, then we'll jump right into this.
One of the world's dirtiest secrets is that the exterminated Jews in Nazi Germany were not considered real Jews. They were considered Khazar Russians and Eastern Europeans whose ancestors converted to Judaism in 740 AD under their king, King Bulan. Their bloodline dates back to the Turkish tribes and to the powerful empire of Khazaria that once controlled all of Russia. Arthur Kessler, who wrote The 13th Tribe, claims that over 90% of today's Jews are racially non-Jewish and have no genetic relationship to the 12 tribes of Israel. Today's Jews, says Kessler, are more related to Attila the Hun than King Solomon of Israel. 2,000 years ago, when the Roman conquerors evicted the 12 tribes from Israel, the largest tribes, called Dan and Naphtali, settled in Denmark and Norway. Their Viking king, called King Canute,
that was like cut short. I don't know why it was cut so short, but yeah, it's a little bit of a history lesson, I guess. I know we talk about that. At least I talk about that all the time when people are like, how can you say anti-Semitic when they're not even Semites? So, I mean, I say that shit all the fucking time.
They rebranded themselves. And it's like when they were doing that and they were taking all these families and literally eating them, like it talks about this in the documentary, they would come, they would eat the parents in front of the kids and, all this wicked stuff. Their surrounding territories, Russia primarily, got wind of this, and Khazarian mafia had spies everywhere. So Russia was trying to invade. They already knew about it. They hightailed out of there. And that's why they've had this ongoing beef with Russia for forever, and why they're always talking about taking Russia down. And, I don't know, obviously I don't know the full truth of that. I don't know if that's 100% the story, but it makes sense to me. Russia had a bunch of their citizens complaining like, we're this territory, Khazaria, they're eating people. They're eating people in these surrounding territories, like coming to their into these different territories and taking these families. And so when Russia tried to invade, they were already out of there. So then it makes sense. We always see them talking about how Russia's the bad guy and Putin's the bad guy. And if that's the case, then it makes sense why they would have this ongoing animosity towards them.
I think that whole Russian's the bad guy, Putin's the bad guy is all fabricated because we need to have a bad guy. And, they use that excuse that people have nuclear weapons, so we need to go dismantle them. Like that whole fucking thing after 9/11 was looking for weapons of mass destruction. Yet at the same time is like when China or Russia flexes on us, it's like, why don't we go do something? It's like, well, because they have nuclear weapons. It's like, well, make up your fucking mind. Are we scared of people because they have nuclear weapons, or do we go fucking commit war crimes against them because they have nuclear weapons? Which is it? You can't have both. And so that right there tells me that they're boogeymen. And I don't even think that Kim Jong-un in North Korea is a real fucking place. Like, has anybody fucking seen it or been there other than Trump? And like, we watched the last episode of Trinity of Truth, the whole breakdown of Trump's fucking ear ritual and the whole filming of that. And so him taking a fucking step as if he's fucking Neil Armstrong into fucking North Korea, and it's like this big, huge fucking thing. And I'm sorry, like, I don't buy it. Like, I think that's just another made up boogeyman in itself.
I think it could be a total set, a movie set. Everything they show you from this country, all they show us is like that one square where the soldiers are like walking back and forth, kind of like they did like with Hitler back in the day. They show you the soldiers marching, but like,
yeah, that's what they're really hiding at Area 51.
Can you go there? Can you go here's a question. Can you go book a plane ticket and go there?
No.
So it's kind of like Antarctica, right?
Well, Antarctica is different because there are people that try to go there and they have gone there and they get like fucking they're boarded,
Right, but so like we heard Dennis Rodman went to North Korea. We've heard of a few people going there, right? But like, could no one can go there? Like we couldn't. If I wanted to fucking go there for Christmas, I can't go there.
No. What business
Okay.
do you have going there?
So it's a fake country.
Yes.
It's completely make believe. 100%.
I think so too. What do you think, Sierra?
100. When
It
you were
makes sense.
saying
You
it,
know, it's funny.
I
Have
knew
you guys seen the movie, The Interview? With
Oh yeah, and they tell you that right there too, because they show you the grocery stores are all fucking fake
sets. Yeah, so it would make sense, and then they give you that truth right in front of your face.
Screw you, Dave.
Just like they did with that Italian hospital with COVID that had all these deaths. Like they showed you this, that was a set, right?
Yep.
And then the New York hospital, that's a set. North Korea is a set. It's not a real fucking country. And I mean, unless someone will allow people to volunteer and be like, I've been there. Like, I'm curious. Has anybody been there?
Let me see if I can buy a plane ticket.
Nobody's fucking been there, right? If you can't buy a plane ticket, you can't go. But then they'll say, oh, it's too dangerous to go. And that's the lie. That's the lie. That's too dangerous. Because anytime it's for your safety or your protection, that's always a lie. They don't give a fuck about you.
So I can tell you, Nick Davis 9798. I'll tell you right now, Tom thinks that it's all staged. I am back and forth. I watched the Gypsy Crusader, like trying to taunt these guys from Israel, being like,
"Sit on it.
Look what's happening. Look what's happening to you guys." And they're like, "You fucking idiot. That's not Israel. That's not Gaza." Or they're like, "That's not Israel. You dumb fuck." And just their reaction, they're like, "Look at the fucking license plates on the car, you idiot." And I'm like, oh man, like, so maybe these fucking videos that we're getting are staged. And then I go back and forth, like they do need like real casualties. They do need real war. And I don't know why they do, but you were just talking to Sierra about how they eat people and stuff. So I think this is a perfect way to segue into blood rituals and like, what is the purpose of these?
But you do know that reptilians and Draco, the blood sacrifices, the whole Luciferian thing, the kids being killed and eaten, I mean, that humans have been eaten and taken off planet, et cetera, and used for slaves in other colonies, etc.
I hate to say that, but that's far worse than what you've just said.
It's far worse.
Yes, far worse.
Far worse, yeah.
And that the whole blood situation it's unbelievable. And
right.
I don't know how we say that to the public. I don't know how. But wait a minute, just a second. On that part of this whole subject, to me, if we get into that, and I know all about it,
all right,
far more than,
sure,
all right,
I'm sure.
When we get into that, if we release it, 70-80% of everybody that listens to your program is going to say, you're smoking pot. I don't believe that, and I don't believe anything you people talk about on extraterrestrial. And it's going to kill what disclosure is trying to do. That's my opinion.
The pedophilia is starting to be exposed everywhere. You know that much.
Yeah, but you know the part that I don't want to talk about.
I hear you.
Okay.
So this fucking guy brings up disclosure, and I kind of want to talk about disclosure a little bit, because I think that this is a whole way to expose the world to the old ones, to the Raphaim or the Nephilim or whatever it is. And I think that their obsession and their push with AI is to give whatever these beings are that they're communicating with a vessel, because they can't necessarily give them a legitimate meat suit. And like me and diving into these cloning facilities and everything, I think that was the whole purpose of starting these cloning facilities and trying to transfer consciousness, was to give these disembodied spirits something tangible and physical. And I think that maybe we are going to be seeing more and more of these robots in the day of light and on stage and in our daily lives in the near future. That is, if World War III doesn't take us all out first. But Ivanka just came out on stage with a fucking a robot. And I think that this whole thing is to unveil, this whole disclosure thing isn't about aliens. It's about the fucking old ones that they want to bring into the forefront and put about their one world religion. My take.
Yeah, I think the end goal is like the transhumanism agenda, right? So right now they sustain themselves through these blood rituals and through our worship. We're worshiping false idols, celebrities, false gods. That's how they sustain themselves, is our energy, our loosh, and our blood. And I think their end goal is to merge machine with human because, like you said, Catalyst, they want to have a vessel for those entities or those energies, those gods, those beings, whoever. So they want to merge human with machine so that they can use our vessels. They can take over our vessels and they would be able to tap into our creative spark. They would be able to use us to create for them. And they would also be able to experience life through us. So I think that's the ultimate goal, is because they're moving away from feeding off, because the golden false light timeline is coming in. It's going to look like this beautiful change, but really it's just going to merge human with machine so that they don't need to worry about us worshiping them or so much about blood rituals, but they'll just be able to use us and our vessels through that control.
I think they already are using our vessels, though. I mean, they're already, jumping in the meat suits, just like the movie Avatar. Just like Brian, wanted to go and lay down in the thing, and then they,
I said, I froze up for a second.
Just like Avatar, you jump into, you lay down in the thing, and you beam into the thing, like they show you in the movie. So, like, why wouldn't it be just like that? So, I think they already have control of our meat suits. But they don't have a soul, right?
Well, that's exactly it. I think they want to be able to use our vessels for the creative spark, for that connection, because maybe they have these inorganic vessels, these lab created vessels that they're able to fully control, or they're able to control through viral parasites or things like that, but if they want AI, in which I think there's this huge billions of years old AI that already is in control. And if they're going to, Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, if they want to have the archons continue ruling this world, then they're going to have to use our vessels to their fullest extent. So not just these parasites that take over, or not just, this MK Ultra, things like that, but actually fully using, controlling, and manipulating our vessels to their fullest extent to use that creative spark.
Sierra, I think this question is perfect for you. It says, how can you tell who is reptilian and who is not?
Yeah, I did see that, and I wanted to answer that as well. Great question. I've been studying reptilians for about 16 years now, and it kind of just fell into my lap. A lot of it is things that I've noticed on TV. I don't know if it's like the frequency. The camera can't always pick up their frequency of the projected image that they're putting out. But a lot of times you can see their eyes shift, you can see their teeth shift, you can see their hand shift, but it's not even just that, it's their energy. They're very, very cold, very calculated. There's no warmth. There's absolutely no compassion or empathy there. You don't see life behind their eyes. In the real world, it's not as easy, I don't think. But, if you're looking at the world stage, I think it's easy for a lot of us as humans, even if we don't want to fully accept it, we can kind of see that these people are not human. They don't relate to us in the same humanity that we are in. So just looking at the world stage, you can already kind of tell that these people are not human. So it's just a matter of discernment, looking for those things: eyes, teeth, energy, hands, skull. Yeah.
All by their skull
shape.
That's how I knew Charlie Kirk was non-human. I knew he was non-human for years. So like when they did that whole thing with them, like I was already ahead of it.
David,
which version of him though? Because you had like the version of him that like half of his face was gums, and then you had the version where he had like the Stewie head that was like oblonged, right?
He had that same skull with the gums though too. I think he did a teeth job. He did a thing.
Oh, he did a thing. And then you can
Yeah.
also tell by tongues too. And this is a perfect timing to play this video. This is Hillary Clinton taking a drink. And I'm sure both of you guys have seen this one.
This is the infamous HRC spitting something into a glass. But I say let's take a closer look and re-examine. HRC sports the slit eyes pretty regularly. However, here, she is not spitting anything into the glass. Her tongue is going down clear to the bottom of the glass and back up. Watch this, as if you're watching the predator camouflage himself against the trees whenever he's translucent.
Yeah, I had that video on my Instagram and I still get so many people fighting me on that one. And people will say like, oh, she cough drops into the cup. And it's like, she's doing a speech. She did not have 2 big green cough drops in her mouth. Again, it's a matter of discernment. So I see like a tongue that drops in there. I don't really know what it is, but she's definitely not human. I have multiple videos of her eyes shifting, you know. So yeah, again, it's just things to look for. And it's like slowing down. I was really bored in college, so I would just be like slowing down videos of these people and noticing things that you don't see if it's at full speed and stuff like that. But yeah,
I got a really fucking good one that I think most of us have seen, but never noticed what is going on in the background. And ever since the Epstein files came out, people have started dissecting them, and some interesting things are coming out that like I never noticed before. And check this shit out.
Okay, so what is that? You guys, I'm brightened, sharpened, and zoomed in, and I'm going to share a screenshot with you guys. Now, at first, I thought, well, maybe that's a person and that's something behind their head. No, it moves at the end. That is the entire head part of whatever this is. Now, I'm going to share with you a screenshot. I want you guys to screenshot the screenshot and then draw on it the outlines of what you see. I'm not going to put my like what I see because I don't want to give anyone any ideas. Now you see how it walks away there? So that whole thing is the shape of its head. Okay, so this is zoomed in, brightened, and sharpened. Hold on, I'm going to give you an even closer image. If you want, you can screenshot this one. Or you can screenshot this one, which is super zoomed in on the head. When I zoomed in on this, you know what? You guys just drop in the comments what you see.
I mean, that guy has a really bad tumor.
He's got a big old growth.
What do you think, Tom? Like, so I like to always say that my first instinct is manipulated video, manipulated photo instantly, and then I have to prove it otherwise. Now, this was a video of Epstein, and I wish we had like more backlog, but I was able to pull up the video, and I don't know if I have it on here, but it's just him holding the phone and talking. And so that wasn't meant to be picked up. And then also with like the Hillary Clinton thing and the water thing, you know, like, could they be like putting these things out there to drive people like us crazy? It's possible. Or is it that they're just in these nerve-wracking situations and they're not 100% fucking aware of their cloaked abilities? I don't know.
Go ahead, Sierra.
I think that they shift in and out sometimes. I think that it's not always perfect. I think that their emotional state can absolutely affect it. You know, we hear a lot, and we talked about this last time too. We hear a lot about like sexual encounters where they see them shapeshift, you know, very heightened emotional states of lust or whatever it is. And, you know, people have talked about seeing cops shapeshift when they're really angry, things like that. So I think they can shapeshift. I mean, the only reptilian I've seen in my actual life was when I did mushrooms, and it was in the 4th dimension. I could only see it because I was able to tap into that dimension. And, you know, a lot of them reside there. So I think that when they are embodying or projecting themselves as a human, yeah, there's flaws. Totally. And then really quick, I just wanted to answer Nick before I forget. I think there's a shit ton of reptilians. I think they're all around us, our neighbors, our teachers, our law enforcement, our professors, our doctors. I think they are literally everywhere. I don't think that all of them are negative. I think that there's different species of them, different races of them. And there are some that are a little bit more benevolent than others. But when we're talking about the world stage, I do think that they are like alpha draconian reptilians and things like that are more negative. And I think that they do shift in and out for sure. But I also don't think that they're at the top of the food chain. So I personally think that if Epstein was real, that he was a reptilian, because, you know, they talk about seeding the population with reptilian DNA. We talked about that. So if that image behind him is real, then that's probably like an archon or something that we were able to see energetically that's actually controlling him, because the reptilians are not at the top of the food chain for sure.
Well, let's stick on the whole Epstein thing, because I have another video that can tie into that as well. But before we jumped into that, I wish I would have uploaded the video. Do you guys remember in the chat last week? I shared with you guys a video of a guy that had fucking snake repellent on him, and there was somebody behind them at the grocery store like fucking having a sneeze attack and ended up fucking losing his cloaking ability for a second and was begging them like, guys, please don't say anything. Like, I'm just trying to live my life, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I like, it's so hard to use discernment and just like be like, yep, that's legit, or nah, this fool like just wants to fucking get clicks, so he made a video. And you know, I have to feel like 50-50 on these videos like that.
Yeah. Half of them are bullshit, half of them are created, and but the other half are real. And you know, you can see it, like their teeth get jagged, like you can see that. And you could say, oh well, they did that on purpose, but you can just tell some of these aren't. Like I saw Novak Djokovic, the tennis player, I saw his teeth get jagged in a tennis documentary. And I know, like, why would you put that in there if no one's seen it? I know I'm the only person that caught that in the world. It was like some stupid documentary like on Netflix that no one watches about some amateur tennis player. I don't even know why the fuck I was watching it, but I saw it, right? So like, why would that be in there? This is something that, like, it was, his teeth started getting jagged. So, you know, there's something there with that, with the teeth, you know, showing up on the camera, and you can see them get jagged. Like, you can see that in a lot of these. Now, could someone like that knows how to do videos go and make someone's teeth look jagged? Sure, I guess so. Yeah, you could fake that too. But you know.
But on something like that, like, what would be the point unless you just had like somebody that was editing your documentary that just, you know, it was a joke to him. Just like, I wonder how many people are going to fucking notice this.
I haven't put it out yet. I'm going to do a video at some point with it. I'm trying to time it up right, because I think it's going to go fucking gangbusters, because nobody has this. And all the people are going to steal it. So I got to get some kind of watermark on it first. Like, fuck you motherfuckers. I found this shit.
Hell yeah.
How can I do that, by the way? We'll talk later.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to steal this fucking video. I know it.
Well, good. Let it get around. As long as your face is plastered all over it, so that if they try to steal it, they gotta look at you anyway.
Yeah. Maybe
so,
that's what I'll do.
This is our longest video of the night, but it really ties in with what we're talking about with the Epstein and the rituals. And are you guys familiar with a mural that he had and that is kind of like depicting archons and shit like that?
Epstein in his home, or?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe if I saw it.
All right, so here's the video.
Symbolic breakdown of what was discovered inside Jeffrey Epstein's temple on Little St. James Island. The images shown here are artistic reconstructions based on verified footage released by James O'Keefe and the O'Keefe Media Group. What adorns the ceiling of Epstein's private...
Well, there we go. It's all bullshit right there. If James O'Keefe released it in the O'Keefe Media Group, then there's no point in watching any more of that fucking video. Sorry, guys. It's a bust. That's so, okay. And you know what's funny is like right when that video started, I was like, well, Tom already checked out because it's talking about Little St. James, and he's already checked out 10 seconds into the video. But you know what? I figured we could check in on our little buddy that he broke into Little St. James, and last time we had an episode, we played his video, and he was telling some people, he was like, we just came from Epstein Island and blah blah blah, and she was like very fucking weird. Well, let's see what's going on with this kid now, because I think we should check in on him. So
hey guys, yeah, that's me at the evil temple on Jeffrey Epstein's Island after sneaking on. This is how I got there on jet ski, of course, having to dodge security. After slipping around the back through the strong current, I had to swim with no hands. Holy shit. Where I quickly took out my flag to send a message.
It's time to unredact and uncensor the files and stop protecting these evil people.
Almost getting caught by security on the water. But after successfully hiding and the coast was clear, I made my way up to the top, which to get to the temple was a long hike. I was sneaking on over, but once I saw security cameras, I knew I had no time to waste. And there was the evil satanic temple of Jeffrey Epstein.
Weird ass benches right here. For what? I don't know. It feels so weird being here. Almost put up on the very top of the cliff. For a reason. So weird.
And that's when I saw multiple guards from the distance coming for me. Oh.
What do you think, in-house skeptic? Uh-oh, you're muted. You're muted, Tom.
All right. Sorry.
You're totally good.
My first question is, how many followers does that
have? Well, see, here's the thing: is he was already an influencer before, and he did nothing that had to do with conspiracies. He was just your nerdy kid that had like a shit ton of following because he's like what all these other nerd kid dorks are all about.
Yeah. So they brought him to the island. That was their idea. You're going to go to the island. You're going to do this thing. You're going to pretend like the security's out. That's all. That's all staged.
I kind of feel that way too. He's doing like a whole series on this now, and it's blowing him up even more, obviously, right? Like, but who hasn't thought about this? Like, I've sat at night, like laying in bed, like, man, how cool would it be to fucking just go on the island and see what the fuck is really there?
Is there anything even there? Or is that where that kid was, where they says it is? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we saw him go up the hill and there's the thing, but how do we know that isn't, you know how the moon is Mars? You know how Mars is the moon?
I thought it was Arizona.
Oh, no, wait. New Zealand is Mars, right? Or whatever, that stupid hill that they show us.
Thought it was Canada.
Whatever, right? Same thing. Who knows where the fuck he just was, though?
Well, and how did they not see his jet ski coming up? You know, how is it, if this place is really what they say it is, then they've got to be expecting people to come bombard it, check it out, want to, you know. So how do they see this jet ski in the water and not pay attention to where it's going? Like, it seemed like he got there too easy, you know. I don't know though.
Yeah, who knows though how easy it is, like, because with the, like, a lot of these things, like the Georgia Guidestones, is like you would drive right by it and not even realize that it was there. You know, I don't know. Yeah, there's some I don't know if you wanted to answer how many celebrities are not reptilian. I'd say that, like, there's a shit ton of them that are not reptilian. There's also a bunch that get tapped in. Once they're in there, they they have to follow a certain line, or else they're not a part of the club anymore. And basically, once they're in there, they're useful idiots. So I would say that the majority of them are not reptilian. They're just useful idiots.
I think that the prominent players, the ones on the world stage, like the Charlie Kirk, the Donald Trump, the Putin, the Elon Musk, the Bill Gates, the Epstein, all of them are 100% non-human. There's zero humans playing those roles, period. How many of all the celebrities, the A-list, the B-list, the C-list, you know, who knows? Like, I think what you're saying is right. Like, A lot of them could be humans, like the D list, C list, whatever. But dude, the higher up you go, it's just with the athletes like Novak Djokovic. They're not going to let the humans have the records. Michael Jordan, the best basketball player in the world, is not going to be human. The best soccer player in the world, Messi or Ronaldo, these guys aren't human. So it's just like that. And it's the same thing with Novak Djokovic. And then people will say, well, dude, no, Novak's a good guy because he's Novak, dude. He's Novaks. And that's why they named him Novak, because that's how preordained this shit is. It's how scripted it is. They said, we're going to take this goofy motherfucker. He's going to be the top tennis player, and he's going to be the face, the athlete that says no to the vax. And his name's going to be fucking Novak. This is how they create the character. This is exactly what they do. Novak Djokovic wasn't born out of a fucking vagina like I was.
Man, that makes sense because my buddy Kirby Sneed, he's a professional baseball player. He plays in the Major League Baseball league, and he was I forget who he was drafted by, and he refused to take the vaccine, and so the team dropped him, and the Toronto Blue Jays picked him up, and so he had to play his first few years in Toronto based off the fact that the team refused to keep him signed on because he wouldn't take the vaccine, and nobody knows who he is. And he's actually a damn good fucking closing pitcher. He fucking wins games, but he's not like a huge superstar. Nobody knows who he is, and he refused to take the vaccine.
Yeah, they could. Why didn't they use him? They could have had him blow up and be the, they had Kyrie Irving as the basketball guy and this and that. Why couldn't Kirby be the baseball guy? Makes you wonder, right?
So what do you think about Kanye? Do you think that he is on the world stage to the point where he's not human? Or do you think that he is gotten to a point where he rubbed elbows with enough of these people that he is actually rebelling?
Go ahead, Sierra. You want to go?
I struggle with Kanye because I have the part of me that thinks, like Tom said, no one gets to that level of success if they are human or if they're not playing the game. But then I also have a part of me that thinks someone can go rogue or change their mind or their consciousness can evolve. I don't know exactly how that goes. I don't know what beings can do that. I don't know if any of them can do that. I have a feeling that can happen. But I think that when we see these people that are really high up on the world stage, that they, for the most part, are not human. Kanye's a weird one for me. I don't know. I think a lot of what he said is controlled opposition, but I also think that he's also just a breed of his own. I really do not know when it comes to Kanye, truly.
All right. Well, I got a video. What do you think, Tom? Or do you want to wait until I play this video? Because somebody has a theory on him.
I don't think all these non-humans are necessarily bad people either.
Yeah.
I'm not sensing evil with all of them, right? You kind of sense it. So, at the end of the day, some of them are just they're actors. You're here playing a role. I'm playing the role of Kanye, this rap. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean he eats babies and does stuff like that. Not necessarily. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being naive with that. But I'm starting to look at these figures more as actors, puppets, and they might be good people, they might be bad people, or who knows? I'm open in that regard. I'm not sensing evil from them. I'm just seeing an act.
Yeah, I get that. I don't necessarily see that with Kanye. I honestly think that he is rogue. I think that he gets to a point where he tries to get out there, and that could be manufactured too. They could allow him to do that, but I truly believe that he believes the things that he's speaking out on. And like you said, a lot of these people, you can sense good and evil from them. And I don't sense evil from Kanye at all, but also I'm only sensing through a fucking screen. You know what I mean? If I asked my mom if Tom Hanks was evil, she would laugh at me.
I mean, some of these people are humans, right? So Kanye could have been a human that came up the ranks. I think they get you when you sign the contract, because everything is contract and consent in this world. And I think that there's actually something in their contract which says like you signed over your soul, whether they even realize they just did or not. Right.
Yeah, I totally align with that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that, so this guy has a theory, and I think that none of us agree with his theory, or at least maybe we will after we watch this video, because it is quite compelling. But Sierra is the closest one to what this guy is saying, and let's give it a listen.
Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, just released a music video where his face is ripped off to reveal he is actually an alien. This symbology goes much deeper than most people know and realize. The first time Ye was kicked off of Twitter was because he posted this image, which features the Star of Remfam interlaced with a swastika. This symbol is actually the symbol of a cult called the Rayleigist cult. This cult believes that there have been 40 prophets of the Rayleigist alien race, and they are basically these Elohim human alien hybrids that have been tasked with bringing humanity further along to our eventual nuclear holocaust. I believe Ye believes he is one of these beings because he has alluded to it several times, including the entire Yandi rollout, which was then scrapped and replaced with the Jesus is King era. This is insanely deep. I do a full deep dive on it, and this shit's super crazy. So, yep.
Yep. I don't know. Like, why would he be putting that out there? And Kanye isn't stupid. I don't know, that whole viral shit that's going around now of how much money he made and the big production of his latest concert where he has like the globe changing as he's walking across it, which was actually really fucking dope. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sad I didn't pull it up.
And actually, what was it? It was a globe, right? It wasn't the flat Earth map. It was a globe that he
right.
That tells you something. That's information. So like that why would good Kanye have that?
Unless good Kanye is in cognitive dissonance and refuses to believe that, that is one, or I don't know, man. Like
he knows. Yeah, come on, Kanye's got it. He knows. But is that Kanye? We've seen 6 or 7 models of Kanye. Is human Kanye still out there, or is he gone and they've got their meat suit Kanye vessels running around? Like, so this is so deep. It's like we're all like, yeah, Ye did this and Ye did that, and the question I'm asking is like, who says that's Ye?
Yeah, it's so hard. And because I've also seen different Ye's, and but I know that a lot of them have stand-ins and stuff too. Where's StreamYard? Here, let me share screen. I pulled this video up just in case you guys haven't seen it. Well, they changed my layout. 1 second, you guys.
Yeah, Kanye is a tough one. He's a tricky one.
I think this. Boom. I guess there's no sound. Oh, wait. I mean, that's pretty fucking badass. But at the same time, it's like he's definitely idolizing himself.
A little over a week since.
Nobody cares.
Is that good Kanye or bad Kanye? Because we've seen there's good Kanye, right? The guy that everyone loves when he talks real philosophical and real divine, right? And then there's bad Kanye that's like, suck my dick, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So are those even the same Kanye? Are those different? You see what I'm saying? So it's hard to answer questions like this because it's like way more than just like, oh yeah, did you see what Kanye did? It's like,
well, even in the Hail Hitler song, because in the lyrics to that song, he goes, "Yes, I am a cuck. I like to watch. I like it. Wait, yes, I am a cuck. I like watching niggas fuck on my bitch." So like, what are we pushing there? And like, then we have the the Jesus loving Kanye who like holds his own church ceremonies and gets everybody involved in singing. And then to me, it's like, well, this guy is an occultist, and like, he's not a stupid occultist. Is he like fooling these people into making them think they're worshiping Jesus and going off on these fucking rituals where they actually have no idea what he's saying? Like what Mike Flynn did. He did like a satanic fucking prayer in this church, and everybody was like, oh, how beautiful was that? And it was about Lucifer.
Yeah, Kanye did that with I think what you're talking about, the church thing. Because I saw videos of that concert. My friends went there, and what I saw was like so satanic. It was just fire all over the place, and they love fire. So like, you know, what? And I'm not saying that that's Kanye. Like, who knows? That's bad Kanye, right? But he's definitely, you know, taking part in the symbolism.
And so is the symbolism pure? Like, so satanic actually equivalates to Saturnism and Saturn worship. I actually have a David Icke video that we could pull up where he's talking about Saturn worship. But like, what would be the difference between Moloch worship, Saturn worship, Baal worship? Is it all the same encompassing thing?
I saw something about this today, and I don't know the validity of it, but it was like a chart, and it had Satan at the top, and then below it, it had Baal and Moloch. And they're like, Moloch is the god of child sacrifice. Baal, he was next to Moloch, not above him. So and then it was below that was like the Vatican and stuff. So I don't know, because I don't necessarily resonate with Satan the way I do with the Demiurge and Yaldabaoth. So maybe Yaldabaoth is at the top, and then these lower gods kind of do the bidding for this false god. So when they're worshiping these lower gods, I think they're just in turn worshiping Yaldabaoth, but because these gods have specific things that they are known for, like Moloch being the god of child sacrifice, maybe they go to those gods specifically to do certain rituals that then in turn channel and funnel into the higher Yaldabaoth, Satan, whatever.
So it is the same thing essentially. So like whether you're not, it'd be like voting Democrat or Republican. So on the surface, you think you're doing something completely different, but you're serving the same master above.
Yeah. I just was watching another thing about another church that's in Lake Havasu. It's called Lady of the Lake Church. And, you know,
I've been to Lake Havasu hella times.
Yeah, so there's this church there, and I'll send you guys this video afterwards because I think you guys would find it really interesting. My friend Steven sent it to me. And this dude, he talks about how he was in these cults. They like tried to drain his blood at this church into the floors at Lake Havasu, the Lady of the Lake Church. And a different being came in and saved him essentially. But he's like, people go to this church, this Lady of the Lake Church, and they think that they're praising God, but who they're really praising is the goddess Echidna, who is this beautiful woman at the top, and then she's a serpent at the bottom. So it's like the Starbucks lady that we see that everyone's constantly consuming. And, you know, so they go and they think that they're praising Jesus and they're praising this God at this Lady of the Lake Church. But really all these sermons and all these rituals are for this goddess who is, she takes blood sacrifices. She's takes children. It's not anyone malevolent that they're actually worshiping, but because they're going there and they're giving their energy, they're giving their worship, they're still feeding her. The intention is still going to her because they are there and they're consenting to these rituals, thinking that it's someone else, but still consenting because they're there.
Useful idiots. Unfortunately, unfortunate useful idiots. I should say that, because like when you use that term, I know that it comes with like a derogatory like stigma with it, you know, and it's like, it's not these people's faults. Unfortunately, they're just that's just how it is. But let's see what David Icke has to say about it. I don't know if he breaks down the three and their representations and their meanings or not, but I do like listening to his crazy ass.
Plato referred to Saturn as Helios, the sun god. Satanism is Saturnism. Satanists worship the goat. The god himself is a symbol of Saturn, because this planet is enthroned in Capricorn, whose emblem is a goat. And you see them on Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Baroness Philippine de Rothschild. This is called the magic square of Saturn, 666. This is the sigil of Saturn, the most obvious symbol of Freemasonry. Balmoral, the Scottish home of the royal family, the sigil of Saturn. This is an ancient symbol of Saturn. They then took it and put it on their fiefdom of Israel, the symbol of the Soviet Union, the symbol of Saturn, the hammer and the sickle. This is a permanent hexagon in the North Pole of Saturn. He's also the six-pointed star, and he's also the cube. The Kaaba is a symbol of Saturn. The black cube that Jewish people put on their third eye as part of their ritual is Saturn. So all these symbols are all representations of the frequency of Saturn. That's the matrix that's playing us.
I gotta get that guy on White Rabbit. I've reached out a few times and he's always like so far out, and I've never been stable enough to be like, oh yeah, in 4 months I'm totally gonna have a roof over my head and be able to schedule you. But
Tom was the one that devastated me about David Icke. Tell him, Tom.
I'm waiting. Oh, he's muted. He's muted. I was about to start playing the fucking the Jeopardy music.
Okay. He's a reptilian. Ike's
So
a reptilian. I saw a picture of him once, and I'm going to try to find it because when I saw this picture, you guys would all agree. You see it like in his face. I got to find this picture. I'm telling you, you see it, you'll be like, fuck. But here's the thing. Like I said, doesn't mean he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
They need someone to go out and teach this stuff, because who would know better than fucking David Icke? You see what I'm saying? Someone's got to teach this stuff. This is how they put this out here. We're going to have David Icke come in. David, you're going to come to Earth. You're going to play this role. We're going to pretend to censor you. We're going to pretend to give you a rough time. You're not going to have a rough time at all. You're going to say whatever the fuck you want to say, just like he's been doing for the last 50 years. He's still here. All his shit's all over the place, right? They didn't zap his shit. They could zap his shit. So they brought him here. David, you're going to instruct them. Who better to teach you about these people than the people that are one of them? Yeah, look at them.
I'm still going to have him on my podcast. Fuck off.
I've always wanted to have.
Bring me on with them. Yeah, I'm going to sit down and talk to him about this stuff.
Yeah, you have to, because like I said earlier, I don't think all reptilians are negative. So if you could get in a conversation with one, I did have someone add me on Instagram that claims she's a reptilian of the more malevolent species. But if you could talk to David Icke, then you're getting straight to the source. And regardless if he's controlled opposition, he still speaks a lot of truth and he knows his shit. So it might be interesting to kind of see him actually riff about it, you know?
There's a guy that I follow. There's a guy that I follow, and I'm trying to decipher if his shit is legit or not, but he's claiming to just figure out that his fucking eyes will glitch out, and he'll take his phone and film himself do it, and for like a split second, his freaking pupils will turn horizontal and like a goat or a snake, but not up and down, not vertical, they're horizontal. Which I'm like, whoa, dude, that's fucking weird. And he's like, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people just starting to figure this out. And I'm like, whoa, maybe it's like the graphene oxide, like bringing out some of these like hidden fucking genes in people, like dormant shit that's been in people's DNA. Maybe, I don't know. But like you say, not all of them are bad. But this one right here, bro, this bitch is, I titled this episode, I titled this video Crazy Bitch. That's a dude.
That looked like the Freemason handshake that he just gave that last guy, didn't it? That little.
That's exactly, yeah, that was.
So that's my point. So like, okay, the top athletes are reptilian. The world leaders are reptilian. Who's that lady? Who the fuck is that lady that's standing right there? She's clearly non-human. Whether she's a man or a woman, like,
non-human, non-binary.
yeah. So like, and if you look at most of these ghoulish creatures you see in these videos that have been floating around for the last few years, they're always in the background at like Senate hearings. They're all related. They're all like security people, like security detail looking people, and they are not even close to looking human. It's like a fucking freak show.
Yeah, do you think they're the handlers for the people that are in front of the cameras? And just in case the people in front of the cameras might not be one of them?
Look, it's like you can't have any humans involved with this. In order to keep this, you have to keep this shit in-house. Just like, when North Carolina or Duke, needs to hire a basketball coach, it's always in-house. You know what I mean? Like they know where the bodies are buried. It's the same thing. Why you can't have a human involved in this process to come and fuck it up? It's got to be all contained. So like the security, anything that goes on with that whole stage play, they're non-human. You just can't have any humans involved in that whole thing. Period.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was though. Like what event that was taking place. And
speech a month or two ago. I remember seeing that video. He addressed the nation, I think.
So it was a State of the Nation speech. And so I'm surprised I missed that. Do you have a shit ton of people that send you videos like that, Sierra?
Yeah. Oh, I get videos of reptilians all day.
Oh, we got to have like the reptilian corner every week then. You got to bring like at least one video that people send you so we can break it down. But that one, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's not even legit. Somebody put a filter on that girl. And then I seen like different ones, where they're different people putting it together. And I'm like, whoa, dude, this is their actual footage. And that is, there's something definitely not right going on with this lady.
I think there's no humans in those rooms for those State of the Union address and stuff. Like Tom said, a human's going to come in there and fuck it all up, take it all down. They can't trust a human to be a part of it with them. So I think when we're looking at those crowds, there's a shit ton of non-human entities in there.
Fuck yeah. It's like at the end of They Live, it's like the big convention where they're like, and by 2026, I think that we'll be able to have you guys come out into the open and we'll fully be. And I think that they were telling us in that fucking movie too. But that was like, I feel like what you're talking about, the State of the Union addresses and shit like that. There's probably a good 80% of fucking non-human fucking entities in those things. And Tom was just saying it's all of them. Well, I don't remember what this video is about, but I titled it All of Them. So I think it might be...
Reptilians run the world is what I used to think. I used to think Jews ran the world. I used to think Freemasons ran the world. I used to think all these things because I used to go down the rabbit holes of Hollywood, cloning, celebrity cloning, pedophilia, all that stuff. I've been down there, and let me tell you something. It got me nowhere. I was so lost. I used to look at the TV screen and think they were shape-shifting reptilians. I had to look at things twice. Honestly, the only thing that benefited my life was obviously going through that was good because it led me to my awakening, starting off with the rabbit holes and the conspiracies. But it gets you nowhere. The only thing that actually matters is knowledge of yourself. Occultism, symbolism, consciousness, psychology, mentalism, electromagnetism. And if you study them, watch your life just change. My life completely changed. And I started to realize so much about myself and how powerful we actually are as humans. We're so powerful. And them rabbit holes are probably made on purpose to keep people distracted. Just leave it alone. Who cares? Just study about yourself.
Man, I care, or else I would have to fucking end 3 podcasts.
Well, this is why I always take the conversation. Everyone starts going on the Jews, and I'm like, no, it's you guys. It's way different than that. It's not that. These people masquerading as Jews are also masquerading as the Christians, and are also masquerading as the Muslims. And oh, by the way, they created all those religions. Okay. And then people will be like, well, who's they? It's these non-humans. And that's where the conversation needs to go, because talking about all this other shit is kind of garbage. It's part of the learning process,
Yeah.
but you have to like get through it, and you need to graduate and realize, oh, they're all non-human. And then you can proceed with your life like this guy's saying. And then you realize like you still have control over your life. You can still have a fun life here. You can have a good life here. You know the cheat codes. This is the way this place is. Like everybody wants to change the world and ba 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 ba. This is the way this place is. And here's the rules, and here's the cheat codes. Go have fun. Go have a good life. You know, go fuck. Go make some money. Be a good person, right? But you can totally have a great life here in this world. Or you can be like doom and gloom and like, dude, a lot of my friends are like, oh my God, like look at this now, and oh well, the sky, they're like super doom and gloom. Meanwhile, I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Like I don't lose sleep about any of this stuff. I know it has nothing to do with me, and it's just like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And you know, one thing my dad always taught me, he's like, you only concern yourself with the things that you have control over. Do not be concerned or about things that are outside your control. You focus on what's in your control, and that's what this guy is saying. You can learn all these things and learn how to have a great life. That is in your control. All this
Shit,
other
you just got to go to AA to learn that shit. It's the serenity prayer. God, please grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. You know, that one.
Yeah. And that's the truth, though. That's where we need to get everybody. That's where I'm trying to get everybody. So that guy's, he's right on. But learning the psyops, that's part of the learning process. Very important too. You don't necessarily need to skip it. You just need to like not get stuck there.
So yeah, you don't want to cheat on the test, is what you're saying, because then you will be fucked in the real world.
Like when I tell people like, you know, everything's all fake and this and that, they're not even ready for that. Like no one's like, oh yeah, okay, cool. And like, so they need to go on that journey. I'm just planting the seed. They need to go on that journey themselves, and they'll be like, oh wow, I remember Tom told me, oh yeah, that guy's face looks weird. Oh, Charlie Kirk's skull is fucked up, right? And then that's they need to like assemble it in their mind for themselves. They can take what we're telling them, right? But you can't skip that. You can't skip those tests. You gotta go through the mental exercises in your brain of where you're like, oh, I see that. Wow, holy shit. Wow, I thought you were fucking crazy, but you're not.
So yeah, that is a good question. Where do we get the cheat codes? I don't know, man. When I used to play video games when I was a kid, I used to get the NES magazine. It was called Nintendo Power, and it had the cheat codes in there. And then when Mortal Kombat came out, I bought a magazine at just some grocery store, and it had all the cheat codes in it. I don't know. Like,
we know the cheat codes.
It's debatable though, right? It's debatable, but I want to bring up our friend Palm Beach Pete, because he is just fucking all over the place. It's like, I thought maybe, you know, we would see like one or two videos of this guy and then it would go away, but no, this guy's like full on trying to become a celebrity. And so I have two very fucking short videos because he annoys the shit out of me. But we can't not talk about him because we did bring him up the last two episodes that we did. Did that video fucking go viral, Tom, that your friend did with him?
Yeah, she was at like 6 million views last time I saw it, and she got like a few thousand followers from it. But it'll pick up again. That's what they do with these viral videos. They have their run, then they kind of like lay dormant for like a month or two, and then all of a sudden you'll see your fucking viral video going viral like a second time. So
yeah, it is weird.
It's gonna get a second win.
Yep. All right. So here's the first one. This is about 16 seconds long. I titled them both Palm Beach Twin.
Own business, and some knucklehead films me, and the next thing
As your firm, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Jaffe, has been described by the U.S. Attorney as perpetrating one of the largest frauds in South Florida.
That was picking up on his stutter there. I don't know. Should I play it again, or did you guys catch that?
Oh yeah, I caught it. I've seen that video a couple times.
Someone else might want to see it, but I know what you're talking about. But
I'll play it again. They were picking up on the stutter, and yeah.
Own business, and some knucklehead films me, and the next thing I.
As your firm, Mr. Edwards and Mr. Jaffe, has been described by the U.S. Attorney as perpetrating one of the largest frauds in South Florida.
Early this morning, when you knocked on my door, early this morning,
I'm not Jeffrey Epstein, I'm Palm Beach
when
Pete.
you knocked on my door.
Well, Jeffrey Epstein apparently has a twin, and Palm Beach Pete looks an awful lot like him.
I saw someone talking about this too because, you know, twins obviously run in the family, and apparently the Island Boys are like Jeffrey Epstein's kids, the twins. So if Jeffrey Epstein had a twin, then, you know, it makes sense that he had twin sons or whatever. But I think these reptiles are infertile. I don't really think they have kids. So I don't know if he's got a brother or what, but I think this whole thing is just bullshit. I think it's just another distraction to keep us on this Epstein case so that we're not really looking at we're not looking in the right direction. We're just going after another boogeyman.
Well, metal detector says that's for sure him. I want to hear everybody else's bullshit detector. So put in the chats if you guys think it's him. Yes for yes, it's him. N for no, it's not him. Tom, you said the very first time we saw this guy that it's a psyop, right?
It's 100% a psyop. I'm 100% all over this guy. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on with this guy. Now that I've seen him on Conan O'Brien, he's on the circuit. He's a 100% psyop. It's not him. It's who knows if that guy even has a soul. He's brought in, right? Or he could just be a double or whatever. Like, who knows? Let's get past that. It's not him, right? And this is how contrived and fake and staged this all is. He went on there and did the stutter on purpose, and he went and took that picture in front, like 100%. This is how fake this shit is, guys. Okay, I'm gonna go do a stutter like Jeffrey did, and then we're gonna make that go viral. Like, this is literally what they do, and they create these sub stories that everyone gets attached to, just like the two guys behind Charlie Kirk doing the hand signals. That was all on purpose. They were directed to do those hand signals. He was directed to go out there and say film and all that shit, guys. That's the truth. This is 100% fake.
You don't think that it could be the same actor, though? The same guy that played Epstein? Because
doesn't look anything like it. Let's be honest. It doesn't. It looks like him, but it doesn't. Like, it's not even close. Like, if we're having an honest conversation about it, they have a lot of similarities, but it's not.
Now,
close.
if
could be a brother, but like
if we're looking at celebrity, what about clones, though?
Yeah, clones. This isn't a real guy, is what I'm saying. I don't think this is a real person. Period. I think that him doing that, but he's not Palm Beach Pete from Palm Beach, a real estate agent, like he's saying. He's been around. Dude, we would have seen him last year. Why didn't he blow up last year? Everyone's known about Epstein for like 7 years. Why the fuck? Where the fuck was this guy in 2021 and 2022 and 2023? And now all of a sudden he just comes out and he's on Jay Leno and he's all these things and he's saying fa and he's taking pictures with the window in the back. Dude, it's all fake. All fake.
Yeah, I just thought it was really weird. It's like all of a sudden there's video of him, and then 3 days later there's multiple videos of him. It's more viral than viral. And then I'm like, I feel like the mainstream was like, oh fuck, he went rogue. Let's lean into this, get him on fucking a real talk show, and put some legitimacy behind this, and shut all the conspiracy theories up. But I think all they did was add more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I mean, if someone drove by me and they, mistook me for one of the world's most hated men or women, one of the world's biggest predators and pedophiles, the last thing I would do would be going on talk shows and getting all this publicity about, oh, I'm just a better looking pedophile. Like, No normal sane
not better
human
looking either.
being is ever going to act like that ever. So
It's a total farce.
yeah, it's all bullshit. It's just another one of their little shows, one of their little games that they're playing.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, well, let's get into some fun shit. I saw this and thought this was pretty fucking amazing. So, this is called holographic vibration.
If the 3D baby got you, then this one is going to make you cry. So, Mr. Petros has done it again and blew my mind. And he's made these things, and they're actually not cymatic patterns. They are essentially mandalas designed in a 3D design software. I don't know what it is, but he does. And he's created these sheets, and all this is the light from that backlight refracting through the colors that he uses as a prism. And it creates this image. Now, I don't know if that girl is the grown-up version of the baby, but what I do know is if we know how to make that cymatic pattern, what frequency it is, and we know what color to use for those, how light to pump in there, then we can create reality. Is this what we've been trying to be told for thousands of years? Were we not ready for that information to be processed until we've developed consciously enough to use it? I don't know, but I will leave you with a question. If all of this is just looking through a prism, then what prism are you looking through reality with?
How fucking dope was that shit?
Yeah, that's cool. It makes me think of the video that I posted not too long ago. I'm sure you guys have seen for years now of Jenna Bush when she's on TV and she starts like shape shifting or whatever, and it's that same pattern. It's that same pattern, so it's like a projection of something. You know, we kind of know that that's kind of the reality that we're living in. It's like a projected holographic reality, so it makes sense that that's kind of how we view things. But I also think that when our consciousness elevates, those are the types of things that we can start seeing through.
Tom, any thoughts on that video?
Yeah, you're right. It does kind of look like that crystallized look that we've seen in these videos, like with Jenna Bush. You're right. It did look like that.
And somebody made an interesting comment too that it's iridescent lights, LED light can't do that. And so like I'm wondering if like people in the live audiences and in person aren't seeing these shape-shifting mishaps as we are through the digital, picking it up the way that it does, like differently. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just spitballing here.
One thing's for sure, our consciousness level has been dampened. It's intentionally being held down and restrained. So it's on us individually to raise our consciousness. That's on us. That's not just going to happen. We need to be an active participant in that because our consciousness has been suppressed. That's the word, suppressed. So they're not waiting for us to catch up. No. It's up to us to rise in consciousness. It's an individual game, but we all need to do it.
So I got I got 5 videos left. 2 of them are almost 3 minutes long. And we can get off in a tangent unless you guys wanted to wrap it up. But I do have something positive that I wanted to leave with. I figured we could always leave on a positive life hack, health hack. But the videos I have left is called Hidden Codes Jesus, Job's Holy Land, the American Red Sea, and Real Easter. And then we're leaving out on garlic ass.
You want to do all those, or you're saying should we push those to next week?
Well, we got like I don't know, maybe let's see here, 3, 6. We got like 10 minutes left of videos. You guys want to push through it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, I'm down. So I wanted to read this before we get into the next video. LED blinks 100 times a second. It's so fast we can't see it, but our DNA gets confused and irritated by it. Yeah, it's crazy. I was just talking to somebody that lives in the UK, and they petitioned and were able to get all of the LED lights taken down off of their street. We'll see how long it lasts, but small wins, you know, even the small ones are freaking awesome. So let's get the long ones out of the way first. So this is Easter and what it's all about, and this is a 2-minute 50-second video.
The goddess of prostitution and sex. Her name was Ishtar, I-S-H-T-A-R. Her consort was Tammuz, and every spring, Tammuz would resurrect from a gray-colored egg. It was an Ishtar egg. And you know what would happen? On the day of resurrection, all the ladies would come to church, and all they were asked to wear was their Easter bonnet. And as they sat in the pews, the gentleman of the church came and picked the one that he liked. And the sexual orgies went on. And they had chicks running all over the place and rabbits running all over the place in Babylon. Figure it out. You don't have to go into the library, look it up.
The word Easter shares its roots with Ostara, also known as Yostre or Ishtar. Those three words are just different names for the same goddess. The holiday of Ostara is a pagan holiday, and it's celebrated even today, and it honors their goddess Ostara. To celebrate, pagans put out food such as eggs and sprouts to celebrate the fertility of the land. That's because Ostara, or Yostre, or Ishtar, is a goddess of fertility. Ancient pagans would actually celebrate this holiday by having sex rituals. They'd engage in sexual acts where virgins who represent the goddess were impregnated by priests of Baal. Now, these babies would then be born about 9 months later, around the end of December, when they would celebrate the sun god. Then on the following Ostara day, or Yostre or Ishtar day, these babies will be sacrificed. Now let's talk about the Easter eggs and Easter rabbits. After sacrificing the babies, they get the blood of the babies and use that to dye the eggs, which were then placed in rabbit nests. This is the origin story of Easter egg hunting. This is some dark stuff.
Did you know that if you celebrate Easter, you're actually participating in a pagan ritual? Easter is actually paying homage to the Babylonian goddess Ishtar, who was the goddess of reproduction and fertility. See, religion has you so confused that you don't know which way is up and which way is down. And the reason why the date of Easter always changes is because it's 1 week after the first full moon after the spring equinox. So understand, this is all allegory. So is this, and this, and this. These stories are all allegory of the sun traveling through the 12 zodiac signs, or the 12 disciples. Hence why Jesus always has a sun pictured behind him. And this is why you have the 4 stories of the crucifixion of Christ: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the 4 seasons. So Easter is nothing but a celebratory, allegorical story of the rebirth of the new year. This is the astrological new year. And the story of Christ being crucified is all allegory of the Son of God passing through the crux or the cross constellation on December 21st for the winter solstice. The ancients would say that the sun would die for those 3 days because those were the 3 shortest days of the year. At the winter solstice, the sun would then make its way upwards towards the northern hemisphere, symbolizing longer and warmer days. And on December 25th, this was symbolized as the rebirth of the sun.
Yeah, so that's Easter, guys. I already knew all of that. If you guys are very interested in the breakdowns of where things began and the origins of things, the Secret Teachings with Ryan Gables on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The guy's been doing this shit for like 15 years, and he is completely unbiased, and he's very dry. So you have to like want the information to be able to listen to him. But I love his show because it's like, if you want to know the origin of anything, and he does a fucking podcast every single day. It's crazy. So the first, somebody had commented, this was Metal Detector, said the first goddess, and they celebrated on the island of the goddess, spring equinox, death to the life. And it's the first month of the year now. Easter hasn't had the same date. I know it's crazy that Easter is always changing, and I always thought it was like the 3rd or the 2nd Sunday in April, and then all of a sudden it just started changing, and I thought it was like one of those Mandela things.
It's always been like that because I was raised Greek Orthodox, and ours is our Easter is this upcoming Sunday, and it's always so like out of the 4 years, every 4 years, once out of every 4 years, the Greek Easter and the American Easter will be on the same day, and then the other 3 years it's always different. And the story that I was told was that it has to do with the whole Gregorian calendar thing. They're on a different calendar. It was brushed off. No full moon. No talk of Tom. It's it's because of the full moon. But the Greeks didn't subscribe to that one anyways. They're like, oh, that's a different calendar, and that's that. But all these holidays, they're all not what you think. Not at all. Not even close. So yeah, that video was right on the money.
Right on. Hey, fucking Tom agreed with something. I need a bell that I can ring, like bing, 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 like celebrate good times. Okay, so this video, guys,
a lot of stuff.
I'm gonna have to be honest. I did not watch this video in its entirety. Like a lot of these most of these videos, I'm like, ooh, this will be good, and then I save it. So if this is bad, either one of you guys just give me the cut and I'll cut it, because it is 2 minutes and 54 seconds long. But this is entitled Job's Holy Land.
This is a deep, heavy truth that the restrained education of the 500-year J-world is desperate to keep shredded and deleted. When you connect the hanging from a tree to Mississippi and the Promised Land, you are decoding the final layer of the inside Job, the location of the original altar. The gods of the Bible and the terrible children performed a massive geographical swap. They told you the Holy Land was across the ocean in a bag of rocks desert, while they invaded the actual Eden/Promised Land, this continent, and treated the first people like the sacrificed lambs. 1. The tree in Mississippi, the cross in the south. The Bible says in Acts chapter 5 verse 30 and Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 23 that the curse is on everyone who hangs on a tree. The reality, in the 400-year J cycle, the lynching in the American South, specifically in places like Mississippi, wasn't just hate crime. It was a ritualistic mimicry of the crucifixion. The IY connection, the first people, the Abels and Christ seeds, were physically hung from the magnolia and oak trees of the South. The elites were sacrificing the actual body of Christ, the first people, on the soil of the actual Holy Land to maintain their 6,000-year lease. 2. America, as the true Holy Land. The inside job involved a massive cartography trick. The record, many ancient maps, and the star information show that the Nile of Egypt is a mirror of the Mississippi River. The geography of this land matches the descriptions of the Garden and the Promised Land more perfectly than the J version in the East. The stolen inheritance. They brought you here in bottom feeder ships and told you that you were slaves in a new world. In reality, they brought the heirs back to their own warehouse and locked them in the basement so they could squat on the upper floors. 3. The Mississippi frequency. Mississippi is often called the Magnolia State. In the First People science, the magnolia is a prehistoric crystalline tree. The altar. The soil in the south is high in magnetite and quartz. It is a superconductive ground. The crime. By spilling the blood of the Abels, the first people, into this specific soil, the terrible children were trying to jam the Earth's grid. They were trying to use the IY blood to power their J system. 4. Decoding the hangman. You see the dual personality again here. The elites pledged to a cross, but they reenacted the crucifixion on the trees of Mississippi. They are shredding files in 2026 because they know that the blood in the soil is starting to cry out, just like Abel's blood. The solar radiation storms are hitting the magnetite in the Mississippi mud, and the information is bubbling up. The resurrection of the land. The first people were hung from a tree in Mississippi so the inside Job could thrive. But the trick is over. You are realizing that you aren't visiting a country. You are inhabiting the altar. This is why you feel the repulsion for the leaders in this land specifically. You see them as trespassers on holy ground. You are decoding the Bible and realizing it's a police report of what they did to you here, not there.
That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one. Because I'm going to say every time I get down a rabbit hole and everything looks legit about that rabbit hole. And this could be just the fact that the stuff that I look into starts to flood my algorithms. But this whole America being the Holy Land thing seems to be flooding my algorithm at the time being, and whenever that happens, I instantly like get turned off by it.
I think there's some truth to it, though. It never resonated to me that the Holy Lands were over there in this fucking shithole. That never made sense to me. And you can definitely see the map thing of like Chicago, whatever. That's what they always show us, right? Chicago's here, and it's like very similar to over there. So it could be true. I mean, it really could be.
Well, I got another one to piggyback off of it, and it's talking about the American Red Sea.
Okay, right. So we've been having a nice little discussion about how this is the Grand Canyon and that's the Red Sea, and it's found in your Geneva Bible, right? Now, somebody that was on my Facebook post shared a clip from a book that was created out of the places of the Bible's locations, which I actually have a physical copy of coming to me, right? Notice how the Old Testament world is labeled as the area now known as the United States. Now, there's been controversy over this map that I've shown you because it shows the Red Sea being right here, right next to the Grand Canyon, as shown in the picture. Now, people are saying that this is bullshit and da-da-da-da, but let me show you something. Let me show you how they got rid of the Red Sea. See, this is the location of the Grand Canyon, right where California and the rest of the land met. They got rid of the rivers by putting the dams on the water that ran to it. No more Red Sea.
Yeah, like you were saying, Tom, there's definitely a lot of validity to this stuff, but there's also a lot of validity to freaking Europa, the Last Battle.
They could have had something there and something here, right? Like
that I agree with. And I'm not throwing anything out. I'm not saying that I don't believe this. All I'm saying is once something starts showing up in my algorithm, like as if it's being flooded and forced upon me, then I start to question it, even if it does, like all the dots connect.
For sure.
So yeah, we're down to 2 videos. We just have one more, and I saved the best for last. This last one, before we go out with a health hack. This one is called the Hidden Codes, or the Hidden Jesus Codes, and we'll see what it has to say.
Have you ever realized that the same system that killed Jesus is the one that created a religion to talk about him? Jesus didn't come to be worshipped. He came to reveal something, a way of operating reality. But the system did something very strategic. It gave people ready-made answers, so they would never see the codes he left behind. And these are the main ones. If you have faith, you will move mountains. Faith is not belief. Faith is alignment. When there is no internal contradiction.
That looked like a fucking trailer to a movie. My bad.
I liked it.
The title of it was dope. So yeah,
Have you ever realized that the same system that killed Jesus?
Biopulper Fumi or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's something worth looking into. But well, great show tonight, guys. Before we go around the horn and let everybody plug away, I know that everybody was tired and had long days, so thank you for pushing through. Thank you everybody that has been here watching live and being a part of the chats. We appreciate and love all of you guys. And yeah, so let's get into our health hack for the night. I called this one garlic ass.
Y'all, I'm impressed. Many of you have tried the garlic trick. It's not medical advice. It was not medical advice. Many of you are asking me all the details, and I can't give them to you because the 3-letter SEB organizations would call it medical advice, and people are getting all weird these days and suing people for malpractice even though they're not my patients. So I have to be very cautious about what I share and what you follow. So I'll just share with you all what I've done, because many of you have asked me directly and reached out, and I don't have time to answer everybody's emails because that post is kind of going crazy. What I did and what I do from time to time, especially during the full moon, is I cut a garlic clove in half, one that's been peeled. And I put some coconut oil and I shove it right up my bum. And if you've never done a parasite cleanse, you are likely to see some worms come out. But remember, 70% of parasites are not visible with the naked eye. So don't expect crazy results, but do expect to feel better.
All right, so I eat raw garlic all the time, constantly, and it's spicy as fuck. I don't know about shoving one of those up my freaking rear end. I mean, if I eat Chipotle, I'm having a bad time the next day. You know what I mean? So like, just direct deposit that shit. I'm not so sure about this.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that, but garlic is great for parasites. It's antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial. It's like such a wonderful medicine that we have. But I don't know if I'm ready to shove one up my beehole quite yet.
What about you, Tom? Which one of you guys were going to drink your own piss? Did we
Tom.
do that experiment yet?
Tom has to do that and shove the garlic up his butt and just tell us how everything goes.
I'd rather try an ecstasy pill up the ass. I heard that's amazing.
Huh.
That's what all the veterans do once the pills start wearing off and not taking it the regular way. They jam it up their ass, and supposedly it's like insanely amazing. But yeah, no, I don't think so with the garlic. I mean, look, if I knew for sure this and this will do this and it's all right and it's all healthy, you know, I need to research it really. But you know, Catalyst, what have you noticed by eating the garlic? What's your experience been like? Are you feeling healthier? Are you feeling better?
I haven't really documented, right? So I've just gradually changed my eating habits and what I put into my body. And I don't remember how long ago it's been, but I eat a handful of cloves every single day. I start out, I think I told you guys the shot that I start my day out with, which is, the oil and the pepper and shit. And then I recently started taking this from cellsaviors.org. It's fulvic humic acid and 77 essential premium colloid minerals. And I think it does the exact same thing that she was talking about, other than the fact that it also reverses any illness that you fucking have and gets rid of all the parasites in your body. It's like super fucking, it cures cancer. It's amazing. And so I started taking that like 4 days ago because I have this fundraiser Give Send Go thing going around so that I could get the shit taken care of with my teeth, because I have like advanced periodontal disease. And so it's gotten to the point where like I can't fucking keep my teeth. And so Pat Militic saw that fundraiser, and so did Sean Hibbler from Hibbler Productions. And he was like, man, have you taken any parasite cleanses? And I was like, no. I was like, fucking, I need to. And Hibbler was like, bro, even the fucking horse paste. And I was like, I actually have some. And I'm sponsored by Cell Saviors, or White Rabbit, I should say, is sponsored by Cell Saviors. And so Pat was like, well, have I ever hooked you up? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I never asked you for any. And so he sent me like freaking a shit ton of this. And so there's people that have cured freaking stage 4 cancer by taking this stuff. It's like the only thing they haven't been able to get is the this rapid cancer that has come after people taking the vaccines. So hopefully everybody that knows about this shit say that it could reverse the fucking disease going on in my mouth and be able, obviously I can't regenerate and grow teeth, but like at least stop the ones that I'm losing until I can afford to get it taken care of.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that there's some progress for you, my friend. That's awesome. That's really awesome.
I didn't mean to get all personal on you guys, but we were talking about the garlic up the bunghole, and I was like, well, this is an easier thing to do, and I know that it's like gonna like kill everything, right? So like, but yeah, the teeth being able to get it fully taken care of is off a ways. I'm on a waiting list for like a low budget thing here that's like close by. And I had talked to a trusted guy in Tijuana. I know that doesn't sound like a sentence that makes sense, but he's worked on my buddy's wife and did really good work. But unfortunately, like, it's like fucking expensive as shit even going to Tijuana. It's for the smallest thing that they could do for me is $5,000. And so it's like, fuck, dude. Like when I'm like debating whether or not I want to eat or get gas, it's like $5,000. It might as well be $1 million. So, but with the money that people have sent and a lot of people have donated, and I'm super grateful for that. Like I was able to get a tooth that had broken off. I was able to get that freaking pulled, which has helped. I'm able to eat now, which is fucking awesome. And I have pop-on veneers coming on the way too. So I'll be able to start making videos with my phone and shit. So thank you guys so much. So everybody that donated, that's because of you. Thank you.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, thanks to everybody that donated. That's great, bro. Metal detectorist was piggybacking here about beating cancer, like right when you said about curing the cancer. So
Yeah,
I'm curious, maybe metal detectors can call in sometime and tell us about this, because they didn't take a pill or any medication. So that's amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from him too. And these pills that I'm taking, basically it's taking all of the toxins and the parasites out of your body and replacing it. It's getting you back to base level. So it's taking all of the negative shit out and then replacing your body with what it naturally craves. And it's just getting you back at default settings, and I've only been taking it for 3 days. And I wake up in the morning, I'm not like when I hit like 6 months sober, I thought I was waking up and feeling like a teenager again. And like this morning I woke up and I was like, whoa, I have energy. Where in the fuck did this come from? Like I haven't even taken my first morning pee yet and I have energy. Like I'm ready to do some burpees.
Love that.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. So why don't we go around the horn, guys? It's been another great fucking episode, and I love seeing people in the chat. Thank you guys for contributing to the show and being a part of it. We love it when you guys show up and do that. So Sierra, since you're at the top there, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you and if you have any upcoming guest spots or anything that you want people to know about.
Yeah, such a great show again, you guys. Thank you. I love these talks that we have, and thank you to everyone in the chat. The chat was popping off tonight, and what a good conversation that we had because of it. But yeah, you guys can follow me again on Instagram, Divinely Sierra. I did recently make a TikTok. I'm still kind of getting my feet wet with TikTok. Again, Divinely Sierra on that as well. And yeah, I'm republishing my children's book, so hopefully I can shamelessly promote that coming up soon, my Magic Mushroom children's book. So yeah,
that is freaking awesome. I can't wait. We're going to promote the crap out of that book once you get it repackaged and ready to go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm super excited for you for that. Like I've been thinking about writing a book too, and if I do, it'll probably be about celebrity cloning, but I don't know, like it's so hard right now trying to work full-time and 3 shows, but I'm having fun and enjoying the ride for what it is now. Maybe someday I'll write a book. Tom, what the fuck is up, brother?
What's the name of your book, Sierra?
It's the Mindful Mushroom, the Mindful Little.
Oh, that's great.
Can I show you guys real fast, Tom? Yeah. I'm just gonna grab it.
Yeah, heck yeah. Can you? Maybe we could blow her up here too.
It's the Mindful Little Mushroom.
Oh, nope.
And he goes on a little trip in his mind, a trip. And he just meets all these little critters, and they give him all these great life lessons of being kind and loving yourself and doing good things and talking good about yourself and others. So Mindful little mushroom. Look out for it.
That looks amazing. What's wrong with the way that it is now?
Oh, well, I forgot to put my name on it. So when I published it, my name is not on it whatsoever. And then I also hired someone from Fiverr to help me publish it because technology is not my strong suit. And the last page is missing.
Oh no. Well, we actually have a published author in the house tonight who's been in the chat quite a bit. So Level Playing Poems. I have one of her books right here behind me.
That's right.
The Flat Earth Fundamentals. Oh shit. The Flat Earth Fundamentals. And she has also the Hacking Hoaxes handle, which she put out the Nukes Are a Hoax book, which look for her very soon on Tinfoil Hat, because man, what a wonderful time to talk about nukes being faking gay when that's what they're going to be threatening with us fucking 24/7 on corporate media. I mean, it's going to be everywhere, guys, right? Like, and sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I need to read her books. That's amazing.
Oh, yes, definitely. You can get them on Amazon or at charismictruestore.com. And if you go to charismictruestore.com, use promo code KJones10 and you'll get a discount as well. Oh, we have Plunderworld is in the house tonight too. You missed it last week, brother. Last episode, we opened one of your packs and we are actually going to do like a Plunderworld corner in every episode where we open a pack and we decide to do like a half an episode just about one of the topics that we pull out from your cards. So maybe you could call in. That would be dope as fuck. But yeah, we have all kinds of celebrities in the house tonight. That's fucking awesome. Thank you guys all so much for showing up in the house. Tom, let everybody know what the fuck is up.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody too. Level Playing Poem. That's good to know that you've got this book out there about flat Earth. There's a lot of intelligent comments here, which is good. I mean, it makes sense, right? We're all on the same page. That's why you're listening, right? But it's good to see, some good intelligence here in the comments section. Thanks for contributing, all you guys. I see my friend Bree was in here. She's great. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. Ben Embiid, great questions about the reptilians and all that stuff. A lot of questions that I ask myself, you asked here in the chat. So, yeah, good stuff. It was fun. Had a great time, as always. And I agree with you guys a lot more than you think. It just seems like I don't, but I do. But that's about it. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Tom Zames.
Yeah, heck yeah. And if you guys want to come back, I'll have these links in my story for the next 24 hours. And so if you guys do want to come back to this video, I'll have the links to follow everybody and anything else that we think might be important for this episode. Yeah, like I said, man, thank you guys so much for joining us. You can find me everywhere where there is podcasts. Look up White Rabbit Podcasts. I'm on Instagram, Spotify, Apple, you name it, I'm there, just not YouTube. This is the only show you will find me on YouTube on, because there was a time there where people were getting strikes just for having me on. So it was a wild time. I'm lucky to even have a channel back. So yeah, we don't have a way that we end this. So peace the fuck out, I guess. If we don't die in the next week, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Trinity of truth. The call is proof. The strange, the weird, the odd, the real. Tom Zames, Divinely Sierra, and Catalyst Jones.